the above. It's like the Long Island iced tea of precipitation. And that's what they had in Buffalo. And that's not going to help this. Deontay Johnson, all the storyline coming in was the Pittsburgh Steelers can't catch anything. He dropped a couple of passes and then got benched. Dropped him right on the bench. He's a good young player. He's from the MAC. He's in his second year, and he just obviously is between his ears right now. He would have come back in the game, but there he is on the sideline. You hate to see it, as the kids say. But second quarter, let's talk about the Bills. They're the story in this game. Roethlisberger going to throw it short. No, he is not. Intercepted by
Taron Johnson.
What
a game. Weber State.
Him
and Dame Lillard. That's what I got.
Yeah, I think NCAA basketball in Weber State. Taron Johnson, and that's a wild stat to me. They haven't had a defensive touchdown in 3 years. And there they are. Their celebrations were incredible, and so was Josh Allen, especially in the third quarter. He looked like a taller, more talented young Ben Roethlisberger. That's how I will put this. Stephon Diggs, I don't know who that make him. Plexico Burress, maybe a little bit shorter, but a touchdown, tough, frustrated, fired up.
Santonio
Holmes, forget about it. Toe tap legend, Santonio Holmes. Maybe even a little bit of Heinz Ward toughness. I know that's blasphemy. Gabriel Davis had just a few yards in this one, 19 yards, but he gets the touchdown. He's been playing a lot with Smokey Brown banged up. And that little shoulder twitch by Josh Allen, he has it all going on. I'm telling you, he looks like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL right now. 23-7. Steelers get it going. Yes, that is the aforementioned Deontay Johnson coming off the bench to make a big catch. Move the chains, 23-7. Juju Smith-Schuster. All right, they got something out. Now, there was a storyline in this in which the Bills defenders did not like that Juju was dancing on their midfield logo. Apparently, he did that on the tick. He's been doing it. Jordan Poyer spoke afterwards, so that fired us up. Not sure what that the Steelers receivers need that at this point. Josh Norman, there he is. No helmet, right in the middle of the scrum.
Matt Milano.
Keep on dancing, Buffalo. 26-15, they win. The Steelers get to 11 and lose 2 straight. Now, Roethlisberger was disgruntled after a win in his postgame a couple weeks ago. Let's hear how he sounds after a second consecutive loss. Ben, how you feeling?
We've lost 2. We're facing some adversity, but we're not hitting the panic button. Offensively, we're not very good. And right now, we're not playing good football, and it starts with me. I think this is a team that's got a lot of resilience, that is resilient and understands what it takes to win football games and understands what time of year it is, and that the way we're playing right now is unacceptable.
Ben, he knows what time it is. He's been there. You know who else knows? The Chiefs. Here we go. Going back to the stadium where they won their Super Bowl about 10 months ago. Early on, though, it was not smooth sailing. Van Ginkel deflects it. Intercepted by the Dolphins. We've got action. Miami looking to upset the defending champion.
Van Ginkel Mahomes is like bird magic.
It really is.
It's 2 greats.
When you put those 2 together, you throw out the record books. Here it is, another interception. Mahomes would throw 3 picks in this game. Very un-Mahomes-like. It was the first time he's ever done that in an NFL game. Second quarter, Tua goes back. The Chiefs defense says, we can do a little bit of that too. Look at this play here. Deflected and picked. That is the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Great interception. The Chiefs defense would bail out the Chiefs offense a few times in this game, including getting a safety at one point in this one. Second and goal, watch Kelsey. He's got 2 people on him. Just drifts, finds a way. You give them about 2 seconds extra, they're always going to be on the same page. They very rarely are not on the same page. Kelsey, fantastic yesterday. But this was the one that got me out of the chair. Tyreek Hill just outruns everyone on the Miami defense. Touchdown. Chiefs would start running away with this one. They would really pull away. They'd be up 18 points in the third quarter. Dolphins, though, would not go away. Here we go. 1st and 10. Mahomes looking. Xavier Howard is amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
He's got 9 interceptions this year, the most in the league, and Mahomes says, I've got a love-hate relationship with that stadium.
Never mind Mahomes for a second. Talk about Howard. That was an amazing play.
Got the most interceptions in the league, and I said it on the show for 2 weeks. He's doing more this year than Stephon Gilmore did last year. Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year. You figure it out. Here we go. Tyreek Hill on 4th and 1, puts the game away. Comes up a little bit, holding that hamstring. We'll check in on him. Flores knows. That's it. They're so hard to beat, and yet Tua had a great game. Kelsey, he's having a career year. Might be having the best season a tight end's ever had in the league. Patrick Mahomes, 3 interception, a lot of turnovers, and yet a 6-point victory and first place in the AFC. The reigning Super Bowl MVP. Let's hear from him. How did he feel after all of those interceptions?
Obviously, you get angry. You don't want to turn the ball over and put your defense in that situation. At the same time, I have the ultimate confidence in the guys around me that we're going to keep battling and find ways to win football games. And kind of like I said, our defense kept us in the game. They kept getting stops whenever they were just on the field. It seemed like the entire first quarter. And then all of a sudden we were leading at halftime. And I feel like this team plays better when their back's up against the wall, and that's a good thing to have about a football team.
Chiefs are now in the 1 seed after their win. The Steelers' second straight loss added to that as well. The Bills are 2 games up on the Dolphins in the AFC East. Massive win in primetime for Buffalo last night. Showing the highlights all morning here. Did the Bills prove they are the second best team in the AFC? I
believe so.
Yeah.
Kyle said something at the beginning of the show I've been thinking about for 2 hours. He painted this picture. It was really cool of the Buffalo Bills, like a heavyweight boxer, knocking out another one. And then looking into the camera, and he's like, KC, I want you next. I want you. As soon as he started talking, I started thinking about Mike Tyson. I imagine Josh Allen being like White Tyson, right? And he's sitting there and he's like, there's no one that can stop us. Our offense is impetuous. Our defense is impregnable. Go on. We're just ferocious. I want to eat your heart. We want to eat your kids. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Josh Allen, slow down. Slow down. But that's what they feel like. You know what Mike Tyson felt like when he was the baddest man on the planet? Felt like nobody could beat him. And we all witnessed it and watched it and agreed with them. As we are witnessing and watching the Bills, I agree with the confidence. I agree with the cockiness. I agree with the swagger. Offensively, they got it. Josh Allen has made that leap. Stephon Diggs, you can make the argument he's the best receiver in the game. Just look at the numbers. He's leading the league in catches. They got tight end play. They protect their quarterback. The running game is there. Defensively, they just shut down the Steelers.
Quality wins.
And, of course, their head coach, as calm, as cool, and as steady as ever. Never get too high, never get too low. So, yeah, do I feel like they're the second best team in all football?
All of football.
With the way that the Chiefs look, they might not be the second. They might be the first.
Not just AFC, all of football.
What are we saying? We feel like the Chiefs are the best team in football?
Yeah.
With the way the Chiefs looked yesterday, what I'm saying is the Bills might be the best team in football.
I like
the wild part is that at the time, Lennox Lewis didn't even have children. So it made no sense on another level. He couldn't have eaten.
They didn't Bolivian.
Yeah, but Oblivion. Praise be to Allah. The crazy thing to say about Buffalo this morning isn't just that they're good or that they're great. It's I trust them. And you don't trust the Bills. That always make you look bad. This is 25 years of this, but it just feels like a friend who's like gotten their life together. Like you've known this guy for years. He's always losing his job. Or let's say his name is Bill, and he shows up the holidays and I'm out of work again, or I've put on a bunch of weight.
Come on, Bill.
Oh, Bill, come on. You hope for him. You like him. Good person. Can't get it together. So when he shows up at Thanksgiving, he's like, wow, Bill, you look great. You got a job, you're in a relationship now, you got a new haircut. Like, you're worried that, like, he's going to blow it, because Bill always blows. Has for 25 years. You're talking to your family like, Bill's looks great, but I feel like he's going to get fired. He's not getting fired. He's getting promoted. He's going to put a ring on it. He's got his life together after 25 years of making us look stupid for trusting him. Maybe he will again. But that whole thing with Josh Allen that we've talked about before, sugar high Josh Allen, where he gets too excited and does crazy irrational things like laterals and throws.
Gone for good?
So true.
Gone. I really do. It's like he went vegan. Like he's calm now. There's no fun dip, sour patch, just zzz, and it's like he played against Roethlisberger and was a much more composed, much more talented quarterback on the field. I not only like them, I trust them. I think this Bills team is winning a couple of playoff games.
Titans destroyed them. That's just out the window for you. You think it's like
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because they had a really rough patch like a month ago.
Chiefs and Titans.
Terrible. And they lost a couple in a row, and it was like, oh, the Bills are out. I feel like they threw up on the side of the road. They got it out, and since then they've looked unbeatable. It's like they hit their low, just like the Chiefs did, losing to the Raiders. They got back stronger, and I have not recognized that team since, in weeks. I think they're great.
So puke and rally their wagons? Is that what
I think that's what it is. Nobody pukes and rallies like the Buffalo Bills.
Coming off Boomer. They did. Josh Allen threw a bad pick last night.
Okay. He didn't play a perfect game.
No, listen, but that's the point.
Yeah.
He threw a bad pick, and it didn't all just melt away and get nervous and start freaking out. No, he's like, let's go to halftime, and let's light it up. That third quarter was amazing. And he was 11 for 11 at one point in the third quarter, just dialing it up from Gabriel Davis to Beasley and then Diggs. And I think the deal with the Bills fans are like, nobody believes in us. And like, this has got to be uncomfortable for Bills fans, because I think at the table right now, everyone believes in you. And I believe in them. And, earlier in the season, I'd be like, yeah, but Josh Allen. It's okay to prove us wrong. And in this case, Josh Allen has proved not only me wrong, but I think a lot of people wrong. This guy was not only the better quarterback than Roethlisberger. I don't know if there was a better quarterback in football yesterday than Josh Allen. So locked in, so dialed in. And I don't think the Chiefs match up well against the Bills. I know they beat them in the rain up in Buffalo earlier this season.
Okay.
I just think that the Bills are this tough, gritty, like in the trenches type team that can also have the quarterback that can go throw for throw with you. I don't think the Chiefs want to see him. Steelers, Chiefs are like, yeah, let's go. And Bills, I think, are Steelers, let's go.
Interesting.
Bills are scary, and that's the first time I've said that since we've had a show. I'm talking 5 years. Bills are scary. I'm talking Super Bowl scary.
Quality wins. Steelers, of course. The Seahawks, the Rams. We have to talk about their schedule. Their schedule has been absolutely brutal. And if you think about it, they're one Hail Murray away from being the 2 seed. It was that one play, they could have been sitting there in the 2 seed. So are they elite in the AFC? Yes. Quick shout out to Gabriel Davis. We give Stephon Diggs a lot of love. Cole Beasley doing his thing without John Brown. I talked about him a couple of months ago. Like, how is he even getting snaps when there's all these wide receivers making play after play? Josh Allen was talking about how he just gets in the paint. He just scores touchdowns, doesn't get a ton of snaps. This is a 4th round pick, you guys, out of UCF. And he's out there doing his thing. We love to see it. For John Brown's injury, he's stepped up 3 straight games. He has touchdowns. 4 of his last 5 he has scored. He's really having a great impact. I just want to give him a little shout out. I know he's a fan of the show.
Hot take. They might have the best wide receivers in the entire league. Like, they're diverse, they're good, they have all different
so tall.
And they're tough. All right, let's get to another game here. Raiders and the Colts. We have another AFC battle. Let's see how it went down in Vegas. We're talking about the top of the AFC playoff picture. And they're this tier where it's like, are these guys pretenders, contenders? I think one team showed that they belong in the conversation as well, and it was not the Raiders yesterday. It was the Colts. T.Y. Hilton here goes deep, scores a touchdown. When T.Y.'s healthy, he and Rivers could be a problem come January also. Then they've got the running game. I mentioned the offensive line earlier. Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly creating holes. Naheem Hines was great, but it was really Jonathan Taylor having a breakout game yesterday. 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. This offense can really hum. They can run, they can throw, and the defense is one among the best in the league. Talking a lot about the Bills and the Chiefs. But look now, the Colts coming off that win, 9-4, right in the middle of things.
Raiders are still in the hunt, though, of course, bringing in Ian Rappaport. Let's stay in the AFC and talk about Las Vegas. They've lost 3 of their last 4. They made a coaching staff change yesterday. Let's talk about Mr. Gunther.
Yeah, a major shakeup for the Las Vegas Raiders. Paul Gunther, who has been the defensive coordinator for head coach John Gruden since he arrived in Las Vegas, was fired last night. Rod Marinelli, who is on the staff, defensive line coach, former defensive coordinator in his own right, he now takes over interim duties. And, several things went into the firing of Gunther, who, of course, arrived in Vegas as a really respected defensive coordinator, giving up 44 points to the Colts, seemingly having no answers despite trying literally everything during the game went into it. So did the fact that I'm told he really got into it with head coach John Gruden during the game regarding the things that were working, the things that were not working. That obviously led to his firing. But it's also important the context here. Okay, look at what Paul Gunther was dealing with. Yes, they gave up the 3rd most points in the NFL, but he also was dealing with an offense that spent the 2nd most in the NFL. $52 million more the Raiders spent on offense